Shadow Ghost here, and welcome to Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Now, I was running a Chaos campaign and posting it, and I royally screwed it up. As you know, I don't like reloading, so I've decided to restart with lessons learned. So let's jump into our new campaign, and I'll outline some of those lessons I learned from that first disastrous campaign. So we're going to come over here to Chaos to serve the Dark Gods. The 13th Black Crusade has swept out of the Eye of Terror, shattering the defenses of the Cadian Gate and leaving the Imperium's defenders reeling. However, with War Master Abaddon consumed by ancient vendettas, his lieutenants grip on the wider Aegis Ocularis falters, and Admiral Spire, hero of the Gothic War, threatens to unmake hard-won victories. As the laughter of the Dark Gods echo across the stars, all now rests in the hands of Rickon Malos, champion of the World Bearers Legion. Alright, so they're basically kind of three, call it, general mechanics to Chaos. So we can generate gifts of Chaos. I'll outline how we can do that. We can then leverage curses of the Dark Gods. So effectively we cash in the gifts to be able to do certain things. So I'll outline that in the campaign too. And then finally we can hire marked Chaos fleets. So we have to leverage gifts of Chaos to recruit these fleets. But these fleets have, I think, 4, maybe even 6 talents and attributes. Or like, multiple talents, multiple attributes, which is super critical. So we want to be very careful in the marked Chaos fleets we choose. So we're going to throw it on hard difficulty here. So you can see that the threat level of each faction for every sector is +1, so they're going to be attacking us more. Enemy fleets have a plus 20% modifier. We do not allow fast repairs. Macro and Lance's enemy damages plus 10%, so basically they output more damage. Their ship levels are, I believe, are at level 3, so maxed out, and they have plus 20% leadership, so they're not going to mutiny or break as easily. So let's jump in. We're going to do random on mission type. We're going to jump in.
My name. What is my name? Who I was before no longer holds significance. I am reborn. I am Malos Vrykan, servant of the Dark Gods. Mankind languishes in a tumultuous galaxy, its potential shackled by a corpse on a gilded throne. We must look to the past for our salvation. To the primal gods who shape all that is. Let there be war upon this false Imperium. Let the galaxy burn.
And there we have it. We will be playing as Malos Vrykan. He is our protagonist, so we'll have to keep him alive.
Lord Vrykan, our invasion fleet draws nigh to Taylor. Once they've established a foothold, we can begin our conquest of Jinchar.
Acknowledged. Remain
watchful. I will not tolerate failure. This is the first step. Your destiny unfolds to glory. There is little glory in escorting transport ships while the Aegis Ocularis burns. Patience. Like a fortress, glory must have solid foundations. This escort mission is but the first step on the path. The convoy's course would seem to cross that of the migration of plasmic Medusae. We have wasted enough time without making needless diversions. There is danger here. Medusae are highly unstable and will explode upon making contact with one of our vessels.
They shall not have the chance to do so. Drive to combat speed I have practiced for our gunners.
Alright, so we have the plastic Medusas, or Medusae. The key is not to let them get too close. At the same time,
Glory to the gods.
we'd love to leave a few.
Detect an Ultramarine's fleet on the outer edge of the Medusae shoal.
Guilliman's weaklings so close to the Eye of Terror. I sense opportunity to repay old debts. All ships to battle stations.
Traitor vessels! You face the sons of Macrock, the avengers of 100 despoiled worlds. Yield, and I promise a swift death in the Emperor's name.
Save your breath, Kerr. Mercy is not yours to offer or receive this day.
We shall see. All
Alright,
vessels
we're gonna
move
go to
engage.
running silent.
In the name of the Prophet Lorgar and the Dark
And-
Gods, you will find no victory here.
We're gonna move these guys
Do
up.
not let old wounds blind you to your purpose. The transport vessels must reach their destination.
So they have eyes on us with a few fighters. So we're gonna try to keep our escorts relatively close. And I don't know which one are Hellbringers on.
Master wills.
So they do have a few fighters here. Alright, so we have one guy coming in. We're gonna hit them. And
We'll follow your command.
we're going to... This is a Hellbringer and the Slaughter. So we're in the Slaughter. We are going to focus these little guys. And so we're going to slow down time to our advantage. So we're going to focus weapons. And then we're going to prioritize the big guy. So let's move here. And we're going to kind of come in at an angle. And we're going to throw these guys on... Oh, not running silent. What did I just do? I put him on running silent. I meant to put on reload. I didn't realize the Hellbringer could be running silent. So that's on me. And we want to... Oof. This is ugly. Poor start. So let's attack engines. Alright, so this guy's gonna be second priority. I'm gonna focus engines here. You wanna slow him down. Alright, so we're going to
Let the galaxy burn!
do this. I don't know how many transports there are, but that one is not looking good.
Let the galaxy burn! Slaughter them!
Going for their engines to slow them down.
Setting course for transport ship!
And
Tear them apart!
they're just tearing it up in there.
We'll follow your command. For now,
gonna get out of the way
Moving to those coordinates.
and
As the War Master wills.
focus these engines. Alright, so this engine is toast.
Engines hot.
Gonna move you and burst you out of there.
Break them.
And we're going to
Setting course.
turn. We really gotta get these guys out. So now we're changing priorities on the little guy, and this guy will drop down to 4. You guys chase the little guys, and we're gonna move here.
We are unstoppable.
This guy's engine is now destroyed too, so they're not as important.
Your command. For now.
We want to kind of move up here and make sure these Medusae, so we have 2, 4, 6, 7. Alright, luckily, let's speed boost up here. And what we're worried about are these Medusae coming in at the last second and blowing up our
Let the galaxy burn.
yeah, we don't want these guys impacting anything.
Engines hot.
Alright, let's turn this way. Oof.
Setting course.
So we're gonna repair
Engines hot.
and move you guys out
For
of the
ruinous
way.
powers.
And
We are unstoppable. Moving to those coordinates.
it was a tough one to start.
As the War Master wills.
So I want you guys to come up here.
For now. We'll follow your command. For now.
We're gonna go to reload
For the ruinous
because we're more
powers.
interested in making sure.
Tear them apart.
Let's grab one of you. Oh,
For the ruinous
mark 'em.
powers.
Oof.
As the War
Alright,
Master wills.
gonna turn.
As the War Master wills. Engines hot.
Alright, we're positioning our guys inside,
Tear them apart.
and I think
Moving to
we
those
should finish
coordinates.
off that guy. We'll keep him marked.
Slaughter them. We are unstoppable. Break them.
Alright, I'm focusing
Setting course.
on this guy. He doesn't have any shields.
Let the galaxy burn.
I'm trying to keep my guys on the inside. We're gonna turn you.
Moving to those
There we
coordinates.
go. So now both sides are firing.
Engines hot. For the dark gods. Break them.
You guys.
Let the galaxy burn.
Alright.
For the ruinous powers.
Move
We
us.
are unstoppable. We'll follow your command. For now.
Alright. Let's see if we can use this
As the War
Medusa
Master wills.
to our advantage by place.
For the dark gods!
Just making sure that we keep repairing and we have
Setting course!
our stance skill in place. Now luckily we didn't lose any of our guys, so we will mark,
We are unstoppable!
go to reload. So we did take some
Moving to those
relative
coordinates.
damage. You can see these guys are just pounding away at this
Engines hot!
remaining Vanguard 2.
We'll follow your command!
So we're just gonna speed up, make short work of them.
Gods favor you. Our transport vessels are clear of the battle and proceed towards Tyloth. Excellent. The Astartes fleet is dust. Their blind loyalty to the corpse emperor repaid with death. My appetite for slaughter is barely whetted. The coming days promise slaughter enough to satisfy your every craving. You need only have patience.
Relative rough start, but I think that battle was intended to be difficult. You can see our carnage is not really designed to be a long range
Cadia has fallen,
ship.
but the war against the servants of the false emperor forges ever on. How may I serve the gods? The Black Fleet is thick with ambitious warlords. They know little loyalty to Warmaster Abaddon, and pay but lip service to the gods. The time is coming when Abaddon will depend upon you as no other. But only if you prove yourself. I shall not be found wanting malevolence. Good. Strike now. Carve yourself a domain from amongst these squalling stars. My agent within the Imperial Navy will assist you in this matter. Lord High Admiral Dran?
Yes, Malevolence?
Is Admiral Spire contained as I commanded?
Indeed, Malevolence. Even now, the hero of the Gothic War wastes his might on insignificant battles in the Cadian sector, leaving your forces free rein elsewhere.
Are you certain of this? The early stages of this onslaught are vital. Spire's presence in this sector would prove problematic, if only for the false hope it would seed.
It is truth, I swear to you. You need not concern yourself with Spire until you choose to do so.
Good. Your loyalty will be rewarded, Admiral. Warlord Vrykon, I suggest you focus your attention on Chinchar. Its peoples cry out for spiritual guidance and freedom from the false idols of the glutted Imperium. It shall be as you say, Malevolence.
So we are off on our unholy war after setting up his operational base in the Chinchar sector. Malos Vrykon wants to carve out a domain that will glorify his crusade. The Empire and its misguided faith in false idols will end with their soul, and their souls will be brought back to the true faith. So capture the Chinchar system in the Chinchar sector, and then Medusae will follow. So we don't have any shipyards yet. It looks like we're fully repaired coming out of that battle. So we're going to jump in and secure Chinchar. Now one thing I always recommend is click on your deployment orders and make sure you have the ships that you want to deploy with set. So we're well under our leadership cap here, so we'll be deploying with all of them.
The Imperium of Man. A galaxy-spanning empire in decline. Once, humanity stood on the brink of taming the stars. A golden age of light and glory beckoned. But men have ever been prone to temptation and lured to stubborn pride. Now the Space Marines, intended as the vanguard of mankind's ascension, fight ceaselessly to prevent their father's work sliding into ruin. The Adeptus Mechanicus, custodians of wondrous technology, take to the stars in hope of unearthing lost secrets from the very darkest of ages, and to impose the Omnissiah's will upon a scattered galaxy. But nowhere is the Imperium's might more plainly seen than in the vessels of its star-spanning navy. As war rages, colossal warships slip anchor to smite the foe with the righteous fury of the faithful. Such vessels are both Imperium's stalwart shield and gleaming spear, shining in the impenetrable dark of space. It takes more than a man to command such a warship. It takes a hero, strong in will and unflinching of purpose. Without such heroes, the Emperor's light would surely wane. Admiral Spire is one such hero, forged in the hallways of the vaunted Schola Progenium, tempered in the cursed days of Abaddon's 12th Black Crusade. Long has he been lost, but now, freed from the Immaterium's clutches, he returns to shed his blood in the Emperor's cause once more. Any who seek to sweep mankind from the stars must first reckon with Spire. Many have sought his head, all have failed. But one hero alone may not be enough to change the Imperium's fortunes. It will take thousands, even millions, for mankind to reclaim its footing in the Eye of Terror's gaping maw. And millions more to hold it. Such a task will not be easy. Cadia is demon-hunted rubble, and the Imperium itself is scarred, torn in two by the cicatrix maledictum. But it is the nature of heroes to triumph in adversity, and of faith to flourish in the dark.
And there we have it. Admiral Spire will be our arch nemesis as we play as Chaos, or so we suspect. Right now we are focused on securing Chinchare, which is the central hub of, I believe, the Chinchare system. And we will be going to battle with, I imagine, I'm actually not sure if we're going to be battling Space Marines or something else, but we will find out soon. So we are going to put these guys on, lock on, because we're extending. Yeah, I want to extend the range. And then these guys, we're going to throw in running silent and try to use sparingly. So we're going to put 2 over here, 2 over here, and we will ready up. So we have more Medusae to contend with. So if we can actually...
Setting course. Reporting.
So as these guys come at us, my hope is we just pop these Medusae. But we need to be careful.
Orders. As the War Master wills. Your orders.
So we're going to try to keep our escorts
We stand ready.
alive.
Engines hot.
Alright.
Your orders. We are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. For the ruinous powers. Moving to those coordinates.
Alright, so I guess they're immune to Medusae exploding. Seems like he passed right through his exploding arc.
Show us our victims. Setting course.
Alright, so now we're in business.
Break them. Engines hot.
Oh, we missed.
For the War Master.
For this one, though, don't want to
As the
get
War
too
Master
greedy.
wills.
Let's
Your orders.
leverage that.
Reporting. We are unstoppable. We'll follow your command for now.
Alright,
Show us
so
our victims.
I think we should be
We
okay.
stand ready. Executing high energy turn. For the ruinous powers.
Nope.
Reporting. For the ruinous powers. For the War Master.
Alright, so we're gonna slow down time here and set some priorities on these guys.
Your orders. As the War Master wills. We'll follow your command for now.
So we're going to
Show us our victims.
speed boost, and we're gonna try to
Enemy ship
leave
sighted.
the distance.
We stand ready. Setting course. We are
Gonna
unstoppable.
move over here.
For the War Master. Reporting. Enemy ship sighted.
This guy, we're going to
Your orders.
try to damage weapons,
Reporting.
and we're gonna go boom,
Enemy ship sighted. Engines hot.
and let's hit this.
For the War Master. We stand ready. For the War
Same
Master.
here, and let's turn. We're going to cause some major damage there. So we use the Medusae to
Moving to those coordinates.
devastating effect
Let the galaxy burn.
while keeping these guys safe, and they're just gonna keep sensor locking, pounding.
Victims.
So you saw there, we didn't blow up our Medusae yet. We wanted to. This one's like kinda. There we go. So that guy. Oh, weird. So we're gonna repair
Or else.
and
Setting course.
gonna path back this way. Alright, so this guy's gonna be 1, 2. Deprioritize that guy.
We stand ready. We stand ready.
Gonna switch to.
Engines hot.
Oof.
Moving to those coordinates.
Alright.
Show us our victims. For the War Master.
Caused a few.
Your orders. We are unstoppable. Show us our victims. Your orders. Reporting.
Alright, generator down.
For the War Master.
We're keeping pretty
Follow
good,
your command for now.
doing a decent job. what we want to do. So this guy's engine's destroyed. How about this? We've taken out a fair number of weapons. More weapons destroyed. And these guys, track them down. Finish them off. And this guy's gonna be our number one priority now.
We stand ready.
For these two.
Tear them apart.
And those missiles and lances can be devastating. And you guys.
Engines hot. Show us our victims.
We have merged macro battery weapons, triple missile barrel.
Reporting.
Thought so. This guy has a double lance. Alright, I don't know if these guys are gonna path in there, so we can kind of speed up. Oop. Gotta make sure we're heading in the right direction. And then this guy will be number one. Yeah, let's work down his
setting course. Show us our victims.
Work out his weapons so he can't do as much damage. So our Hellbringer Mark II took a pounding. Got too close. Ooh. Ooh. Where's he gonna path? And he is in the red zone. Kaboom. Oh, there we go. Chain reaction. Nice little end. Death by plasmic medusae. The Carnage held up well. The Mark II was, I think, the focal point of their attacks. Took some solid hits, unfortunately, but nothing we can't repair. So, I've said this a few times. I like the greater range or longer range of Chaos in general. So I'm going to prioritize that. So the one thing I don't like about the Carnage is that if you look at the weapons, I'll show you in a second.
The gods mark you for greatness.
I am honored to be their vessel.
As you should. This system is almost ours. Even now, my dark apostles rouse the populace to further. Imperial crews turn upon one another in glorious uprising. But greater tests await.
Alright, so we gained a bunch of renown, resources, gifts of corn, gifts of Nurgle, gifts of Slanesh, and a gift of Chich. So we can now recruit cruisers, and we have a Mark Chaos.
Hold their interest, perform dark rituals to the gods of the worlds you seize, and you will be justly rewarded.
I live to serve the Four.
And serve them you shall, but not alone. Your dedication to the gods draws their foremost champions to your banner. Choose well who serves you, and remember always that one serves his patron god above all.
I understand, Malevolence.
Then make your selection from those gathered before you, and choose wisely.
Alright, Malice has retained the attention of the gods following his last action in the Chinchir sector. His success and dedication to the ruinous powers have drawn their foremost champions to serve your banner. Here I marked Admiral by using a gift of chaos. So we have the gifts of chaos. You guys can see that down here. So we're going to create fleets, and then over here on the right, this is the marked legion. Now, as I was saying, one of the things that you want to check is, it looks like they do have 6, which I was saying. So in Renegade Fleets, you can see here, a Renegade Fleet is kind of like the lowest level you can get. So you can get basically a move and then a talent. right? The Chaos Legion's the next level up, and I think that we're technically a Chaos Legion, and you can get 2 moves, or they call them technical skills, and 2 upgrades, right? And then the Marked Legion, you can see, can have 6. So that is a huge difference. Now, one of the cool things too is that each of these, when you choose the different ones, will have different moves and different, so what do we call them, technical skills and different upgrades. So you want to choose wisely. So real quick, Vecrin is only a, what do we call it, a Chaos Legion, because he only has 4. You can see here we have Varnos, who's basically a renegade, kind of sucks. So we're gonna go ahead and select our Mark Legion. So what are you looking for? Well, it really depends on your style, right? So each of these are devoted to different gods. I personally like, um, hold on, can we see it here? Vikrin has Demonic Ritual and the Space Marine Assaults, and we don't have anything there yet. So let me take a look. Alright, so this guy has Demonic Ritual. I don't really use this that much. It's actually really nice. If you're in protracted battles, each torpedo, you know, I don't like that a lot. Den of Pestilence, the ship gains 1 additional troops for every troop step. So that's kind of nice. Void Locust Swarm. Enemy ships within 4,500 unit radius around the ship suffer 10 damage. And then allied Nurgle ships within the same radius gain 2 points. So I actually do like Void Locust Swarm. You can repair in battle. Varnos, which we already have a Varnos, so that could get a little confusing, but okay. Varnos here has Plasma Bomb, which I like. The Void Locust one, which I like. I actually do like Many-Eyed Prophet. The identification range bonus is very helpful, especially if, uh, um, you know, depending on the situation. Now, one of the challenges with this one, though, is it only applies to fleet escort ships and light cruisers. And so when we think about what that entails, you really cap out after the Hellbringer 2. I really like the Styx is my favorite ship, and I'll explain later. It has double lances, and a missile turret, and a heavy macro turret that can pack a punch. But really, I don't really think that this one is of great benefit later game. And then Den of Pestilence, that's the same thing that we read before. So overall, this is like, these guys are medium. I personally like the Hellbringer Mark II. We go back to our ships and we look at the big difference. The Hellbringer, it has a launch bay and macro turrets, which decent range, but what you can see here at the very bottom, efficient accuracy, even though this 18,000 units, off the bat you're at 20% hit rate. Where if you have a lance weapon, you're always 100% accuracy. The Hellbringer between the two of these is way better because you get your double barrel heavy lance, so that's 5 damage 100% of the time, 18,000 range, and then you can, with locked on, upgrade that. And then this one again suffers the same challenge. This guy, you're not going to do any damage. Here, you're just going to do moderate damage even from a very long distance. And so that's really important. So we really want a Mark II. So I know I'm spending a lot of time getting to the details, but these details are going to pay dividends in the long run. So let's check out the World Eaters here. So the ship launches 10 assault actions on the target. And so that's pretty badass actually. Bloodletter's Party. Demonic Ritual, not a fan. This torpedo thing, not a fan. We're not going to use a lot of torpedo launchers, so this guy's immediately eliminated, and then Corn Berserker's pretty good. So this guy's not horrible. We already talked about Many-Eyed Prophet, not that great. Corn Berserkers, again, it's okay. This Bloodletters party is pretty cool. Plasma Bomb. So between these two, I'm probably picking this guy, Code Red, because this Many-Eyed Prophet will be useful for, you know, about, call it 10 turns. Alright, on to Emperor's Children. Demonic Ritual, not a big fan. Slanish's Promise creates a corruption blow that can be directed in any direction from the ship. Enemy ships con the area effect are rendered inactive for 5 seconds. Their shield, holofield, defense turrets are also deactivated for the same duration. Holy smokes. So not a fan of Demonic Ritual. Corrupting Torpedo, same thing. Siren Cannon 1 in lock on Saints background land solid damage dealt to enemy ships by this ship also inflicts a 3 morale loss. That's actually not too bad. Many-Eyed Prophet Plasma Bomb, Slanish's Promise, which looks pretty cool, Siren Cannon. So between the two, this guy's got a better ship, but this guy's got better attributes. Always pick on the attributes, not the ship. You can switch out the ships they're in. Finally, Thousand Suns, Demonic Ritual again, Winds of Change. So these are kind of consistent between the two. So we have Corrupting Torpedoes. Yeah, so it's just these second traits that change. On critical assault actions, a target enemy ship suffers an additional fire aboard. Oof, that is pretty good. So you want to pick these guys carefully. Originally I was not gonna go with the Death Guard, but I've decided that I'm going to pick the Death Guard, and there are a couple reasons. While I don't like this ship, I'll swap it out to a Hellbringer 2 eventually. I like Plasma Bomb, and I really like Void Locust Swarm Cloud. I want to get in close, I want to be able to heal. The Den of Pestilence, the ship gains 1 additional troops for every troop step. This applies to all fleet ships, so that means we're going to have more troops. We're going to be able to perform stronger assault and repel assault actions. I think this guy is going to give us the most bang for our buck. I really do like Guard. I think this would be pretty cool. Slanish's Promise. We'll probably get one of these at a later date. We're going to start with Varnos.
A wise choice. Bound by chains of loyalty and marked by the divine, he will serve you well in the months to come.
I look forward to witnessing his capabilities once battle is joined, Malevolence.
So not a fan of his ship. So we're gonna have to
attention is fickle.
figure that out.
Should you wish to hold their gaze, you must make an offering worthy of notice. Subjugate a captured system. Let sacrifice and ritual blaze across the stars.
Such has always been the Word-Bearer's way. Let the worthy embrace the truth of chaos, and the weak feed the flames.
Good. Then it remains only to choose the nature of your offering. Let the ritual begin.
Alright, so this is the first way we can generate gifts of the gods. So the fires of worship, the gods' attention may quickly be lost if their champions don't make offerings to them regularly. At the suggestion of Arcturus of Vane, Mallows of Ikrin has decided to offer a planet or two and every living soul on it. He just has to choose who will be sacrificed. Select a planet under your control and dedicate it to one of the chaos gods. Alright, so you guys can read this over to the right. You can pause and read it. I'm going to click out of this. So how do we generate these gifts of the various gods? Well, when you secure a system, right, when you secure it, you have the opportunity to sacrifice different gifts of the gods. Now here's the strategy. You don't want to sacrifice every planet, or as you're going to destroy your economy. This is one of the reasons I screwed up my first past playthrough at Chaos. So for example, this Sabotaurus is a forge world and a shipyard. I do not want to sacrifice this planet. While it gives me more offerings to the god, I want to be able to generate a strong economy to get started off, as well as have a place where I can repair. So by sacrificing a planet to the gifts of the gods, you exponentially increase the evolution cost. So that means it's going to take longer for the planets to evolve and therefore upgrade, and that will have massive impacts because we wouldn't be able to get to the 80 corruption per turn, which is our global income or our income that we use, and that's super critical. So do not sacrifice Forge Worlds. I also would say do not sacrifice strategic position worlds, because this is going to allow you to build space stations for defensive purposes. And then do not sacrifice we don't have anything, but there's, I think, like a paradise world which generates even more income than a forge world. So let's take a look here. We're going to sacrifice a few. Chaos Monument, increase renown earnings. We want to generate renown so we can level up quicker, so we don't want to do that. This is a strategic position. Demonic Shipyard. So this is minor Demonic Shipyard. This is our Demonic Shipyard. So we're going to want to wait. Renegade Enclave and Necron Threat. So we're not going to be recruiting any Renegades because we just don't have the economy to support yet. So we're going to sacrifice this world, and we're going to go with Gift and Nurgle.
The ritual has begun. The dark gods see your faith blazing like a star. Their gifts will surely follow.
This is but the beginning, Malevolence. Soon all the sectors of the Aegis Ocularis will scream praise to Chaos.
Alright. Nice.
With Chinchar brought into the embrace of chaos, you should cast your eye further afield.
What would you recommend, Malevolence?
It would seem the Imperium are mustering a counterblow at Dorsia. Perhaps there.
The skies are choked with wreckage. Imperial vessels will surely use the debris as a shield against our auspexes.
The challenge is too much for you. Was I mistaken to choose you as a harbinger of the gods?
I will lead the attack personally. Let the ruin of Dorsia send a message to those who would thwart mankind's ascension.
Scattering the will, the remaining Imperial forces are rallying in the Dorsia system of the Skelos sector. Destroy the fleet before it gathers sufficient force to counterattack. Imperial reinforcements are expected. Alright, so let's take a quick look. So we need to go up here and fight this battle. But before we do, we want to secure as much of Chinchar as possible. So I wanted to show you, Ship Cemetery. The Ship Cemetery is the planet you do not want to sacrifice, because you want to get to level 3 as fast as possible. That 120 corruption per turn is super important. Also, there's certain planets like this. Corn altar, every 6 turns we're gifted one, or we're granted 1 gift of corn. Let's see. Yeah, you can sacrifice a few of these. So let's take a look. Penal World, 2 per generation. Here we're going to maximize our benefit and gift of corn. Death World, critical assault chance. We're going to gift a Slanesh. I'm going to kind of build even across the board. Now, how do we use these gifts? Well, if you click on a system, you can trigger different things depending on the cost. So Corn's Anger. You select an enemy system and taunt one of its fleets to perform an assault on a random adjacent system. Now, this move can actually taunt the fleet to you if you're close. So if we had enough and used that, it could attack us, which we may or may not want. Nurgle's Route, I like this one. Every ship in the system will suffer 20% hull and troop damage. Slanish's Lies, an enemy system will demoralize a random enemy fleet, and it will move towards an adjacent allied sector. So for example, let's say we want to take Resner, but we don't want to fight these two fleets. We can use Slanish's lies and one of them will move. And then we have Chinch's shifting. We create an invasion from a random enemy fleet that will attack. So we are going, I think we're in good shape. You want the renown, you want the strategic position, you want the shipyard so we can be building ships, and we want our forge roll. So we're gonna hold off. Now I want you to see here, they're 4 pips. We're gonna end the turn. Before we end the turn, let's talk about technical trees. I am a big fan on lances. I love lances. However, the main ships we're going to use for lances, we don't have the level for yet. So, in lieu of that, we are going to we're going to do demonic sight. Launch bays, battleship. So yeah, we're gonna go with demonic sight. Macro weapons accuracy, malice is have, and firing beyond medium range. So that's gonna be super important because we can output more damage. I like to be long distance, so this one isn't as applicable. Then we're gonna get overload generators and disruption supercharge. And in retrospect, I might have wanted to get that just so we get disruption overcharge, but that's okay. We're gonna end the turn. I want to show you one more thing before we end this episode. We're gonna play pretty aggressively. Alright, so I will feel very foolish. Well, normally, at least when I did this before, we would have 6 pips before we can fully upgrade. Now that I'm looking at it, it's really just increasing the cost. So I had to think about that. I was mistaken, guys. You increase the cost of the upgrade now, not the number of or time it takes to upgrade. And the reason we can tell is here we have 4 turns and 150. Here we just added 50 and then 75 to upgrade. So that means we're going to do a lot more sacrifices as long as we can have a robust economy. So we're going to call this an episode. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, please throw me a thumbs up, and I always appreciate a subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. Shadow Coast out.